today I want to continue with my part two of my NYSC experience. First, I normally start with a story. So there was once a story about a rich man and his driver. So the rich man was a person that was very not sensitive. He doesn't care about the needs of the driver, but all he knew was that he wanted his driver to drive him. He didn't really care about the well-being of the driver. It happened that they were on their way to Abuja on one of these his trips. They happened to have stumbled across Lokoja Bridge. Now, the driver had not eaten throughout the day, and the rich man, never really cared about the welfare of the driver. He just felt that once he's okay, both him and the driver okay. Now they got to Lokoja Bridge. Then the driver now drew the attention of his boss and now said, "Sir, please, oh, I'm looking at two bridges. So the rich man told him to park. He like, wait, oh, two bridges." He now knew that automatically that was the signal of the driver telling him that he's hungry. He now said he should wait, he should park. The rich man got food for the man to eat. When the driver finished eating the food, then rich man asked him again, said that, "My dear man, how far? How far means in Lagos, in Nigeria means what's up?" He now said, "How many bridges do you see?" The man now said he sees only one, and that's how they crossed the bridge. That was the moral of the story, that most times it's good for you to also take care of the people that you have around you, as little as it is, little hospitality has gone a long way to help a lot of people. So please always try to reach out to people that you know around you, that are there, that are reasonable people, that you know there's some persons you do good for that will begin to feel entitled. Rather, do for those persons that you know that at the end of the day, just do your own best, because sometimes you might do good and some persons might take it the other way. But try and do good as much as you can, to your best of our ability. Back to the story, my NYC experience. If you go back to the first video about my NYC experience, you'll hear what I talked about, my coming to camp, how I met my friend in camp, how we're able to interact with each other. They gave us different bags that had different clothes in it. Like mine, I'm just giving a recap. I had size, they gave me my one they gave me on registration was size 37. It happened that was a lady size, you understand? So basically, the NYC experience was for you to integrate, get to know each other better. And I happened to have served in Niger State. Pikoro was my camp. That I think then it was about 3 weeks orientation camp. Then from there, you go to your PPA, which is known as place of primary assignment. You go there, how do you call it again now? You go and resume there, then you go back 2 weeks, go and get your load and I see posting. So I happen to have been posted to Shishiroro. Yes, I happen to have visited Shiroro Dam in Niger State, where I saw where dammed the River Kaduna. That was the man that took us round, told us that the dammed River Kaduna, I think it was 382 million kilometer squares then. They took us to the top of the dam. And I'll explain more as the story continues. Now, fast forward, I left camp. Now, everybody was posted. I happen to have been posted to Shiroro local government. I've heard about Shiroro, but I've never really been visited there before. So my first experience was okay. I got to Shiroro. Now we got to the local government secretariat, which was Kuta. I happen to have heard that we're going to cross water to get to our local. So where's my PPA? That's why me and the area inspector I was just angry because we had our meeting. They brought the coppers to the was Akuta then. I really did not want to go back to where my PPA was stationed. I was really, really hearing that they were going to cross with that. I was just having it hot with the area inspector. Well, like he was like, "Come, copper, calm down. You do not know why God is bringing you there." And that time, I didn't want to hear anything about the will of God at all. I was not really, really in that space at all. My end was that I wanted to redeploy and go back to Lagos State, but I guess God had His own plans for me. Now I got to. Oh, hi. I happen to have got to so that was my first experience with a ferry. Now ferry is that like a big bridge that floats on water. Yes, after much confusion, I was like, let me just get to this PPA from there, then I'll redeploy and come back to Lagos. So now I got to happen, I've entered the ferry. So what happens, our vehicles, they put them on the ferry. The ferry now veered off, from one end to the other. That's how we got to my place of primary assignment. I got there. There was what they call it Swakora. Swakora in North is like a pounded yam. For those that did, then there was a Egusi. They really gave us a ball that day. And mind you, remember I told you that I ended up becoming the CLO. Now, I never knew that I would become an officer of the Nigeria Youth Service Corps. I really did not really care. I always did my thing on a low key, just like a normal copper, do my thing and leave. Now, it now happened that I came to my place of primary assignment. Now, I was really not really wanting to stay, but after much, I looked at it. I said, at the end of the day, that was like my first experience with staying in Niger State. And it happened, there was a guy called Ali. I always remember Ali. Ali told me that, I said, Charles, I want to teach you Hausa. that when you go back to Lagos, you will let them know you met a man that taught you the ways of people in Niger State. So then in Niger State, you have people that were Baggy and Nupe. Nupe were people from Bida, while Baggy were people that were from Abuja, also Chiruru and the rest. So this is dominated by two major ethnic groups, the Nupe and the Baggy. Now, I happen to serve in, like I said, Shiroro. Now, I was in Shiroro. I did not know, like I said, I was going to be a youth corper, like a CL, which is known as the corper liaison officer. I just did my thing on a low, just do my, So gradually, I was just this kind of person that people just get to see and they like. They want to just be my friend. So I have this likable personality. I was like, oh wow. So anybody that comes my way, Copper, Charles, I had a lot of friends. People try to get to know me. Me also get to know people. Now, it was a very interesting experience because like I said, I never knew I was going to become the CLO then. I was just living my life freestyle. Now, I think that was my first experience when it came to different foods, different cuisines. I happened to have eaten tuwo shikafa, tuwo masara, and there was cocoa. Cocoa is like making akamu with some. So yeah, you form akamu. Akamu is like cornmeal, corn pap, that kind of thing. For those in Nigeria, those that are conversant with the name of pap, you know what I mean by that. So they now made it in such a way. You eat it with a kuli kuli. I ate kuli kuli sha. Ah God. There's some foods that throughout this life I've eaten. See, yam. There was a time I had about 60 tubers of yam in my room back then as a copper because I mean where I was probably predominantly farming. Students will just come and give me. So when I go to the market, when I was there, I will carry money to go to the camp. But all my students will be dropping things inside my bag. Both the ladies will just be dropping, copper child, they'll just be dropping things inside my bag. Money that I used, I wanted to buy it, they will refuse to collect from me rather. They will rather put some gift stuff into my bag. So at some point, if I see where my student is, I'll start dodging because I won't really pay for what I am, I'm getting. I have some students will always crush on their teacher. So sometimes I used to avoid, things like that. I'll just avoid where they sell so that I end up paying for what I, want to buy. I had a lot of friends, like I said, some, just fond of my person, just wanted to just give me things. There was a guy, one of my friends, Ali, then all these natives that I sold in the north, he did it for me. So Ali was the younger brother. No, sorry, Yusuf was the younger brother of, he was the one that sold all my clothes. He was a tailor, a fashion designer. So he was the one that sold all my natives. All he just told me that Kopacha, I'll just buy material. He would recommend for me. He sold everything for me free of charge. I really had so much hospitality, as well as Mr. Bala. Yeah, Mr. Bala was also a very, very nice person to me. I mean, if I begin to think about my experience, I just pray that Nigeria becomes a stable place again for people to not be afraid of movement, so that they'll be able to experience the beauty of Nigeria. NYC was very, very fun, getting to meet people from different ethnic groups, different tribes. Like I said, when I was in Lagos, basically, there were certain ethnic groups I could not meet or tribes. People like from Gombe, people from Castina. It was hard to meet them. It's only when you get to certain locations in Nigeria that you begin to meet people. Like from that Abuja axis, it's easy for you to meet somebody from Gombe. It's easy for you to meet somebody from Adamawa. When you're in Lagos, you hardly meet people from there. You meet people from maybe Abuja, Kogi, coming down. You see people from that axis. I don't know. They don't really come down to this side. Now, fast forward. Now, NYC has begun. We have started doing our place of primary assignment. Then copper starts coming. Copper start. I think one of the most emotional moments again is when a particular batch of coppers are going. Maybe I was batch A, batch B was leaving. Batch B handed CLO. Then okay, no, batch B left, handed over to batch C. Then I was now batch A, handing over to batch B. You get, so it's one of those very fun. There are some experiences in life I discovered that one of the experiences where I had to go when I went to dam. Then take my experience of Shishiro Dam. So we about ourselves, we ourselves together and say, okay, let us go on an excursion. And we decided to go to Shiro Dam. That it would not be nice for us to be in a particular local government where people will travel all the way from around the world to come and see. And we'll find ourselves not going there. So the dam was commissioned by General Badamasi Babangida then, which was the Ministry Head of State then. It was in 1992. If you enter the dam, you see it in there's a commission is there when you get into the the dam. They had 4 turbines then, so they were the power generation was done. So there was distribution. Generation was done in Kanji Dam, Shiro Dam, and Jeba Dam. Yeah. Transmission was done at Oshogbo, and distribution was distribution companies. We have Lagos, we have Benin, and various major capital cities. They have their own various distribution companies. Yeah. So it was a very, very, very interesting experience. Then also, like I said, when I was coming for the first time, I came through Abuja. But when I was going back, so you can enter Niger State from two ways. You can either come through Abuja, through Lokoja rather, Kogi, Abuja, then enter Niger from Suleja, or you could come through back from the back. You can come through Mokwa. So Mokwa is about, so if you're coming from Ilorin, so what I did was that I now when I'm coming, I had people that were around. So I'll first come from Lagos, I get to Ibadan, from Ibadan, I get to Ilorin, from Ilorin, I enter through Mokwa. From Mokwa is about 5 hours. From Mokwa to Bida is about 5 hours. From Bida to Mina is about an hour to 40 minutes. And then for me now, you can now begin to look at where you want to go to. I think I had a family friend that lived at Mitumbi. Mitumbi, for those that are conversant with Niger State, you know where Mitumbi is. So I happen to have seen, I think that Mitumbi Road is where the former Major Head of State lives. There was a school the wife owns. I think it's on the right-hand side of the what do you call it now? PDP Secretariat Road. So if you follow that road to the end, you get to see PDP Secretariat. Yeah, I mean, it was a very fun experience. More of excursion. Then I had the program I was doing then. So I had to come all the way from Shiro to come to stay at Mitumbi. I think the program I was doing was at, I think it was it Chachanga or Boso. Those, I think one of them, that was the place, location we're having the exams. I mean, NYSC experience was very, very interesting, Sha. It was interesting. And before adult life kicks in, I think that's one of your last experience as a young person and trying to find his feet. After that, bam, you're now slammed with responsibilities of finding your feet, And I think it's one of those best ways of disengagement from school life into adult life. It's a kind of a transition to that. So that's basically a summary of my NYC experience. It was very much fun. If you like the video, please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Chelsea Molame, also known as the Masters of Games. You can check the bio, my link in the description. You can get my ebook. I have one we call Nigeria Political System. Another one we call Busy Places. I have so much. I have a few ebooks are very interesting. I know that Nigerians have it, or people find it that ebooks are very hard to read, but I make my own ebooks very easy to read and fun to read actually. So please don't forget to, you could download it on seller.com. And thank you so much. And till meet next time. Cheers.